Shalom, shalom, shalom. All praise to the Most High. All right, first and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. That's all praise to the Most High God in the name of His only begotten Son, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. This is a part 2 on judgment on Moab and Ammon, right? The so-called Chinese, Japanese, and all the other nations, right? Basically, we'll talk about, like, just to add on to the first video I made. Salaki, I'm a little under the weather still. Might cough here and there. Bad weather, man. Anyway, it's allergy season, so little history about so-called Negroes and Hispanics, right? Over there in like China, they used to call us Kunlun. So a lot of the Asian countries, they used to call us Kunluns. And Kunlun, if you look at the word Kunlun, Kunlun, Kunlun just simply means nigger, right? And of course, the niggers are what? The Israelites. When you read Acts 13:1, we're called niggers, right? And today, we're like these bywords and, you know, all that, they call us the N-word, right? Spanish, the N-word is moreno, right? Or negro, right? So it's the same thing, right? That's how you can tell that the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom were the same people, right? We're Israelites, right? So with that being said, right, there's still, you know what I'm saying, there's more judgment. Of course, ultimately the judgment is what? Which we already covered in the first video, is that the judgment upon Moab and Ammon is to be slaves, right? To be in captivity under the children of Israel, right? So let's just get this real quick. I'm gonna read this in the GNT. This is Isaiah 25 and verse 10 through verse 12 in the GNT. It says, Yahweh will protect Mount Zion. Mount Zion is what? The Israelites, right? It says, but the people of Moab will be trampled down the way straw is trampled in manure, right? They will reach out their hands as if they were trying to swim, but God will humiliate them. Their hands will sink helplessly. So y'all gonna be like, y'all gonna be trying to swim out. Y'all gonna be helpless, right? Most High is not gonna help you, right? It says, and their hands will sink helplessly. He will destroy the fortresses of Moab with their high walls, the wall of China, right? Your high walls. This is the biggest thing that China got right now, right? The wall of China, right? And the wall of China was built by us, with the Israelites. We made the wall of China, right? It says he will destroy the fortresses of Moab with their high walls and bring them tumbling down into the dust. So that wall of China is going to be destroyed, man. Right? All praise to the Most High. Right? That's going to be destroyed. We built it. Hey, we you know what I mean? We built it. We might as well destroy it. You know what I mean? But all praise to the Most High, because the Most High God said this is going to happen to that, right? And that's what you guys have. You guys have that to separate. I forgot what it was. Let's look this up real quick. Let's go here real fast. And I'm going to talk about Godzilla as well, right? You know, Ammon made Godzilla, right? Let's look this up real quick. One second. Bear with me real quick. Internet is really slow. It was built, or the history of the Great Wall of China began when fortifications built by various states during the spring and autumn 771 BC to 476 BC, and one of the states periods 475 to 221 BC. I'm trying to see something real quick. Come from. One second. Millennia, Wall Builders, Surviving Section, Great Wall. It's not letting me see. Oh, this sucks. It won't let me open up. It won't even let me up anything right now. I'm trying to open up to the website, but it's not letting me. All right, it's not letting me open up to the website. But ultimately, this was built a long time ago, right? And most I gotta say he's gonna punish Moab, right? He's gonna bring down their high fortress. This is the highest fortress that the Moabites have, is the wall of China, right? So it's gonna be destroyed, thus saith Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, right? So like it does saith Yahweh, of course, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, all this is gonna be is gonna come to pass. And most High willing, we're gonna witness this, get destroyed, right? Now, of course, I want to also talk about Godzilla, because even a lot of the Asians, they look at this this Godzilla creature, and they glorify it. They see it. They call it a hero. Sometimes it's an anti-hero, and quite frankly, when you look up the origin of this, it was actually created after Hiroshima and was it Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? After the World War II bombings in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, right? It came after the nuclear warfare that this thing sprung up from the water, right? And that it came from the seas. They came from the depth of the seas, and it came out and destroyed things, right? To the city and all of that, right? Salakia, bear with me. Now watch this, right? This is Psalms 106 and verse, is it 106? Psalms 104, verse 25 and 26 in the GNT. It says, there is the ocean, large and wide, where countless creatures live, large and small alike. The ships sail on it, and in it, right, in the water, plays Leviathan, the sea monster which you made. So they supposedly think that they've created something, that they made it all up, but this is actually biblical. They didn't just make it up. Is it a coincidence that they made the sea creature that's dinosaur-like, right, Leviathan? But yeah, this is Leviathan, and they call it Godzilla, right? Godzilla. Let's look up the word Godzilla. Let's look this up real quick. I'm doing this in real time, so I've never even seen this before either. So let's see what this is right here. So it says Godzilla, informal, not particularly enormous example of something. Godzilla, tower, a fierce or frightening person or thing. Yeah, basically it started from Japan, came from Japan. It's a science fiction monster that resembles an enormous bipedal lizard featured in Japanese and American films, television, and comic books. So basically it's something that they used as was a mechanism fit for destruction, right? It was used as some giant thing. That's where you get like Power Rangers and stuff too, where they have all these giant creatures, right? And they and they just destroy the cities, the towns, all of that. Like even with what's the name? That ape. I forgot the name of the ape, but they also got in Dragon Ball Z, right? King Kong, right? So it's basically giant things, like these giant creatures. But this thing comes from the sea. And it's funny because when you see all the cartoons about Godzilla, everything, they all come from the water. And the Most High God said he made Leviathan to dwell in the seas, to dwell in the water, right, in the ocean. So they didn't make this up. This is all biblical, right? You know what I mean? And also, these nations, they're known for stealing ideas from Israelites. Like, for example, the Nintendo 64 game cartridge was made by a so-called black man. I forgot his name. I know his first name was Andrew. Forgot his last name. But he never got credit for what he did. He didn't get full credit. He didn't get not a single penny for making the Nintendo 64 cartridge. Instead, that went over to what? The Japanese. So the Japanese, they steal ideas, man, right? Who's to say they didn't take this from the Bible itself? And they said, let's just make it up, right? Because Salaki, damn, yo, pray for me too. So when they take this story, and if you watch Godzilla, not the well, you can see the new one, the new film too, but the original Godzillas and all that, they used to call it Zilla. It was basically where it would come to the town, destroy everything, and people would try to take it down and ultimately destroy it. But the Most High God said He's going to be the one to stop it. They won't be able to do anything. It's a mechanism that's going to be used to destroy these things, right? Let's get watch this. Let me get Job. Let's get Job real quick. Job or Job, right? Job 41. Leviathan's power, right? It says, this is Job 41 verse 1. Canst thou draw out Leviathan with an hook, or his tongue with a cord which thou lettest down? So when you watch Godzilla, they tried to stop him. And the Most High God saying, can you really stop him? You can't stop him. Canst thou put a hook into his nose, or bore his jaw through with a thorn? Will he make many supplications unto thee? Will he speak soft words unto thee? Will he make a covenant with thee? Wilt thou take him for a servant forever? Wilt thou play with him as with a bird? Or wilt thou bind him for thy maidens? Shall the companions make a banquet of him? Shall they part him among the merchants? Canst thou fill his skin with barbed irons, or his head with fish spears? Lay thine hand upon him, remember the battle, do no more. Behold, so they basically saying, can you do all these things to this creature that Most High God made? You can't, right? Behold, the hope of him is in vain. That's what they have. They have vain hope that they're gonna stop this monster, right? It says, shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? Right? It's a question. You can't, right? It says, shall not one be cast down even at the sight of him? At the sight of him, they're gonna be scared. They're gonna see Godzilla, and they're gonna be put down, man. It says, who hath prevented me that I should repay him? Whatsoever is under the whole heaven is mine. So Leviathan belongs to the Most High God. I will not conceal his parts, nor his power, nor his comely proportion. So the Most High God said, I'm going to let him do what the fuck he want to do. If he want to destroy, he going to destroy y'all, man. Right? It says, who can discover the face of his garment, and who can come to him with his double brittle? Let me just go down to verse 19. It says, out of his mouth go burning lamps, and sparks of fire leap out. He's like a dragon. He's like a dinosaur, right? It's like a dragon, basically, because he's going to be, out of his mouth comes out fire. When you watch the movie, fire comes out of Godzilla's mouth, right? It says, verse 20, out of his nostrils goeth smoke, as out of the a seething pot of cauldron. And you see that smoke, if fire comes out, obviously smoke's going to come out of his nose, right? His breath kindleth coals, and the flame goeth out of his mouth. In his neck remaineth strength, and sorrow is turned into joy before him. The flakes of his flesh are joined together. They are firm in themselves, they cannot be moved. So Salakia. Most like guys basically describing Godzilla, right? It says verse 24, his heart is as firm as a stone, yea, as hard as a piece of the nether millstone. When he raiseth up himself, the mighty are afraid. By reason of breaking they purify themselves. The sword of him that layeth at him cannot hold the spear, the dart, nor the habergeon. He esteemeth iron as straw, and brass is rotten wood. Though arrow cannot make him flee. Sling stones are turned with him to stubble. Darts are counted as stubble. He laugheth at the shaking of a spear. Sharp stones are under him. He spreadeth sharp pointed things upon the mire. He maketh the deep to boil like a pot. He maketh the sea like a pot of ointment. You see this. This is literally describing Godzilla. Like, point for point, this literally describes Godzilla. Leviathan. Leviathan is Godzilla, right? Everything that you see in TV, everything's biblical, man. Everything is biblical. And the Most High got something set up for y'all. You so-called you Moabites and Ammonites. You guys are gonna get something crazy coming upon you, man. You guys made it up. Well, watch what happens when it actually comes to pass. Because believe it or not, a lot of them actually worship Godzilla. They worship the dragon. They have things like like when you look at Mortal Kombat, what's the main thing in Mortal Kombat? A symbol of a dragon, right? It says, he maketh the path to shine after him. One would think the deep is to be hoary. Upon earth there is none light. There is not. Salaki. Upon earth there is not his light, who is made without fear. He beholdeth all high things. He is king over all the children of pride. Hey, man, the Most High God said, pride goeth before destruction. When you have pride, you people are prideful, and the Most High God set up Leviathan to take down you prideful people, man. To take down the pride, man. Because this is a creature that's is full of wrath, and it's gonna have destruction upon you heathens, man. Right? And any one of you 2/3 that's out there in Japan, all the Japan, China, all of that, right? You guys are gonna be put to death by the hand of Leviathan, man. Only the strong gonna survive, man. The elect, we're not even gonna have to worry about any of that. But this is gonna come to y'all, man. This is some crazy time that we're gonna be living in, right? And it's funny because it says that it was created after thermonuclear war. That's what a coincidence that there's going to be thermonuclear war and this thing happens. What a coincidence, right? So Japan, y'all got a judgment coming for you, man. Leviathan's gonna come after your ass. You know what I mean? A giant so-called dinosaur lizard-like creature, man, a sea monster, right? And of course, you guys steal all these ideas. I'm convinced you guys stole this from the Bible, right? Same with the Dragon Ball Z, right? You guys have Dragon Ball Z, right? Another thing, more dragons, right? All you Ammonites, you have this obsession with dragons, right? And what do you know? The red dragon is Esau. So you know what I'm saying? You guys took a dragon which is wicked, right? This thing is wicked, and Esau is the wicked, right? Esau's the wicked, and you guys want to be just like Esau, right? So you guys have this worship of the dragon, and when you look at Dragon Ball Z, the Super Saiyans, those are Israelites. You got them you call them monkeys, and you like apes and all of that. That's the so-called blacks and Hispanics, right? You have Goku, whose real name is Kakarot, just like you have Jesus Christ, whose real name is what? Yahushua. You got Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans. That's Judah right there, man. You can't tell me that's not Judah, right? Or Ephraim. Hey, whatever, man, But you got Judah and Ephraim, right? Kakarot, Vegeta, right? You have and their hair, it sticks up. You know what I'm saying? Edomites, their hair, it just drops. Their hair doesn't stick up like that, right? That's how you know that those are Israelites, right? And we're gonna have that spiritual power. That's the spiritual power that's really gonna come upon us, right? Because we're gonna be the ones that are gonna be in rulership, right? The elect, right? We're gonna have them superpowers, right? We're gonna be translated. We're gonna have a glorified bodies. Right? Only the elect, only the Israelites are going to have glorified bodies. You people won't have glorified bodies. So the real gods on the earth, the real Super Saiyans are the Israelites, the gods on the earth, man. Those are us, because even when you look at them, right, they live out their life like they're so quote-unquote immortal, because when they die, Goku always came back. Vegeta came back. All the Saiyans came back, right? They made these wishes and all of that. Mainly, it's like prayers. They made prayers, and the souls of them would come back. They would return back to the earth. Right, they will go in training, all of that. And they'd come back like angels with the halo, right? But all of that stuff is biblical, because these Saiyans are the Israelites. These you so-called Japanese, you guys have an obsession with so-called black people, and you guys based your cartoons off of them. Because why? All your cartoons is like what? Gods. And you guys take our culture and make it into something else, and make it in the Japanese type of thing, like alchemy, like, right? That's basically voodoo. And who's known for doing voodoo? So-called Levites. I mean, so-called Haitians, Levites, Simeonites, Manassites, Ephraimites, right? We're known to do all these witchcraft and Santeria and all of that. That's the alchemy thing, right? I seen a show about that. Full Metal Alchemist. You got all these Asian shows. One Piece. You got that thing with the thing this boy that became a spirit. I forgot. Yu Yu Hakusho. But all these shows, man, they're all based off Jake. Right? All these Japanese shows are based off Jake. You don't see Asians be doing it. Man, you Asians are not like that, man. Right? Yeah, so you got your Drunken Fists and your Jackie Chans and your Bruce Lees and all of that, right? And even when you look at their mafias look like SICARI. They got tattoos, the way that they're assembled, how they are. If you snitch, you get bodied. All of that stuff, man. Right? They're copying us. That's why the scriptures tell you you want to be just like Babylon. You want to take my people and enslave them and be just like them. You're gonna get enslaved, man. That's why. What's that verse? Oh, matter of fact, before I get this verse, also you have this thing called the Tang Dynasty. Like when I said the word Kunlun, when I started this argument, when I started the lesson or video, when I said about the Kunlun, right? Kunlun means nigger, right? So when you look at the Tang Dynasty, right? You have I believe it was the Moabite nation, right? A Moabite nation where the Tang Dynasty, they had so-called Negroes in slavery, and they made the so-called Negroes build up their kingdom, right? Without us, they wouldn't have a kingdom. And you still have Jake out there in these Asian countries still being slaves, man. They're still being used, right? This is Numbers 35 and verse 33. It says, "So you shall not pollute the land." You shall not pollute the land wherein ye are, for blood defileth the land, and the land cannot be cleansed of the blood that is shed therein, but by the blood of him that sheddeth. And you guys have done this to our people innocently, man. Right? We made your weapons, we did the wall, we did your walls, we did you know what I'm saying? We shined your shoes, we did a bunch of things for y'all, man. Everything we did, we were in subjection unto you, and you still have people in subjection unto you today, right? And you people refuse to let us go. That's why your blood got to be spilled, man. That's why also when you go to Exodus 21 and verse 16, it says, "And he that stealeth a man," and who stole us was the French took us, and then you bought us from the French. The transatlantic slave trade. I had a woman tell me that. Some Chinese woman, she came up to me and said, "You know, we have black people in slavery." And I said, "You don't say. You don't say." She's like, "Yeah, look up the Tang Dynasty. We used to, call y'all Kunlun, and we had y'all in slavery. We bought y'all from the French, Europeans, and some of us actually went to steal y'all from another country. We took y'all over here. We brought you over here. We made a civilization because of you guys." And I'm like, well, look at that. That's why the Maccabees, it tells you that. First Maccabees 2. I'm going to read that too. It says, Exodus 21 and 16 says, "And he that stealeth the man and selleth him," and stole, right? So they stole us and they sold us. Or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. So we're found in you, and we're still found in your hand. You need to be put to death, thus saith the Lord, right? When you go to First Maccabees, First Maccabees 2 verse 10. It says, "Every nation in the world has occupied the city and robbed her of her possessions." See, all her ornaments have been stripped away. She is now a slave, no longer free. Look at our temple, profaned by the Gentiles, emptied of all its splendor. Why should we go on living? Right? This is crazy. Why should we even go on living? You guys took everything from us. Well, you're not going to give it back. That's why you guys are going to be a spoil unto us, because Yahweh said so. Right? So all the things that you've done to us is going to come back on your head. Tenfold. Right? I should say sevenfold. Right? Which means, and you guys are going to get the same way we were drunken off that cup of that Babylonian cup, you're gonna get drunk off that Babylonian cup, man. You're gonna get drunk off Yahweh's cup, man. That bitter taste to you, man. It's gonna be harsh on you, right? Because what you did to our people is gonna come on your head. Mark my words and mark the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. Understand that. So you guys got a judgment written upon you, man. Right? So you Moabites, you Ammonites, you're gonna get something coming to you, right? You stole all the ideas from us, right? And you guys took credit for every little thing, and we don't get no goddamn credit for nothing. But it's all good. Because everything that you guys have, make sure you shine it up real nice, because we're all coming for it. All right? The Lord is gonna send us as hunters, most high willing. We're gonna take our things back, and you're gonna be in subjection unto us. Understand that, right? Your judgment, you can't even come to our you can't even come to the congregation. Right? Y'all a bunch of bastard people, man. Mongolians looking like this. Down syndrome ass people, man. Hey, the Most High is funny, man. That's funny as hell. Y'all a bunch of retards, man. All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High, man. Y'all a bunch of retarded ass people, man. Greatest math skills, but the #1 car accidents. Hey, listen, I'm done talking, man. Most High God said y'all gonna put in slavery. Thus saith the Lord. Y'all took everything. We gonna listen, by the Spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shai, we're gonna take all of our possessions that you guys possess right now. So you know you're basically just borrowing it right now. But we're gonna take back what you borrowed, right? And the Most High God said we're gonna own you. Thus saith Yahweh Shem Shai. With that, I give all praise and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. Shalom.